Hi everyone and welcome to the July 2022 tutorial. We're going to do a fall swag, so let's get started. The inspiration for this fall swag came from this beautiful sign. The colors and the patterns are already here. So when I went and picked out the things that I wanted to coordinate with this, it was easy. All I had to do was find a pumpkin in the teal color. I found some beautiful ribbons that match the animal print. Also have some deco mesh that has an animal print border. We've got some sunflowers in the sign, so I went ahead and found just a pick with a couple of sunflowers. And then these beautiful grasses that come here around this pumpkin in the sign. Look, beautiful grasses to match. So, and of course I had to get an orange pumpkin. Here's the orange pumpkin. And then this little fella, I couldn't resist. Look at that cute face. But I'm going to encourage you, when you pick out your elements, find something that is an inspiration for you. And it's easy to do if you just take, they've already done all the work for you. They've picked out all the colors that coordinate and all the patterns and put them together on this sign. You can see also the plaid that's going around the edge of this sign. I found a plaid ribbon that totally matches it. And then this deco mesh also will coordinate with that. So let the sign do the work for you, and then you'll have an easier time picking out the rest of your elements. Okay, let's start putting this together. Chances are when you get your swag, it's going to be flat like this. This is how they ship them from the factory. So the first thing to do is get this thing and give it some life. We're going to open up all the branches around the main spine that go down the front, or actually the back. I'm working from the front. Y'all know I'm dyslexic. Sometimes I get front and back totally mixed up, but you know what I'm talking about. So just let's give these branches some life, pull them up, and we're going to use these to tie some of our deco mesh and use the ties to hold those. So just open up all this goodness. And you can see as you get to the widest part of the swag, these branches become longer. And a little bit fuller. Now, just understand also too, I give you a supply list for this project. You are encouraged, I encourage you to use your own supplies. If you have things in your own stash that you want to utilize, by all means, please do that. That will save you some money. But I do like to give you options on coordinating and picking out things of your own or that you might already have in your supplies. And this is strictly a guide that I give you as far as supplies themselves. Okay, so we've given this a good fluff out, and it's ready to be decorated. So I have my sign here. I just wanted you to see how great these coordinate with it. This is a ruffle patterned mesh. It's got the animal print on the ends, on the border, which is so pretty. We're going to put that tag aside so I can let you know on your supply list. This is a wide stripe fabric mesh in the same colors as on the sign. Love that. And all I'm going to do is cut some pieces to ruffle into the wreath itself. And you don't have to be precise with this. You can just cut them however you want to. But either you're a measurer or you're not. If you're a measurer, You might be my friend. I don't know. But if you want to measure, this is 24 inches. Those are going to be about the approximate size that I'm going to use. If you want to use a rotary cutter and a mat, that's also recommended. But let's go ahead, and I'm going to prepare some of these ruffles about 24 inches. You can do more or less depending on your preference. And after I get a few of these cut, we'll come back and start adding them to our wreath. So you can get your mat out and your rotary cutter. You can measure it easily with this. And if you want to stack your deco mesh together, you can cut two at one time, which saves so much time. And stack those things up and then just get to cutting. I wanted to give you a guide. I cut 6 pairs of these 24-inch cuts, and we're going to see how much coverage we get with that and then go from there. You can always cut more if you need it, but I'm finding that this particular project is probably going to be fine with this amount. So let's start adding these to the swag. To make your ruffle, you're going to roll in the ends just so that you get those bottoms or edges where they're not going to fray out on you, and then just pull into the center, and there it makes a beautiful ruffle. Now can't you see how this border is going to look with this animal print? And every one of your ruffles are going to be done that way. So roll under the edges and then push into the center. Now let's add them to our swag. Okay, here's our swag. I've got it up on a wreath stand so I can work on it easily. I'm going to go ahead and just start adding these pieces in. If you want, you can alternate them. You can put them together if you want. There is no really formula for you to do this. You're just going to fill up your wreath base with your ruffles. And this is a good filler. There's probably enough on these 2 rolls that I could utilize them in another project, because we've got a lot to add on here too as well. But what I like to do is go ahead and add these in maybe in a zigzag pattern. So this one is up here. Now I'm going to go over here to the right, and I'm just using the tinsel ties that are in the swag itself to make these stay in, and just give it one twist, and look how pretty that is. So again, we made 6 cuts to work with. Same pattern every single time. Roll it in and then gather it. Get your ruffle. And then I'm going to go in a zigzag pattern again down here. So there are 3 ruffles there. I do like the way this animal print is showing up. It's just beautiful. Make sure you can see that. Get a good close-up. Now, sometimes it blends in there so good that, you know, you may not see it completely. But let's start adding some of the orange and blue. Now, I'll be honest with you, these colors for fall were not my favorite when they first came out on the scene. I was a little hesitant about using a teal color for my fall designs, but now I'm totally in love with it. So to alternate, we're going to put these curls up here. And these do really show up with the colors that they have. Okay, so same thing, we're going to come over here and make a zigzag. Lovely. Looks good, doesn't it? Say, yes, it looks good. Of course it's going to look pretty. We trusted the sign to give us all the ideas. If you prefer to work on the tabletop, and that's easier for you, I know some people do, I like to see it up. That's just my preference, but if you enjoy doing it with it flat on a surface, then by all means do that. So we have 3 sets of the curls left. I am going to add a couple at the bottom, and then we're going to save the other 4 pieces for fill-in. So if we see a spot that maybe needs a little bit of something, then we can add that there. So I'm going to add this piece down at the bottom. And I'm going to just loosely put that in there because I'm going to add the other orange piece right kind of on top of it. And use the same tie to put that in. Just letting it hold it for a second. So I've got these 2 pieces going in. Here at the bottom. And that has filled up very nicely. Okay, let's go to the next step. The next step is going to make our bow, and I'm going to put this on a 4-in-1 bow maker. Again, you can use whatever bow maker is your preference. If you like a certain one, or if you like to just make things by hand, then do that. This is going to have about a 10-inch tail, 9-inch. We're just going to crimp the center here, twist, and we're going to use about a 7-inch loop. For this bow. You could put a terry bow on here. You could do your bow by hand. I mean, it's just, you know, personal preference. There's no right or wrong way to do it. Ribbon's pretty, in my opinion, no matter how you make your bow. We love our ribbon, don't we? This animal print is everything. Are y'all loving this? I love it. Okay, so I just did 4 loops. Then I'm going to come down and just go ahead and trim this to the other length of that tail. Now let's add this beautiful plaid with all the colors that we're working with. And again, we're going to use about a 10-inch tail. Now this one twists, and also about 7 inches, maybe even a little less, maybe 6 inches can come in. But look how these pair up together. Now, I don't know that you would have picked this. Maybe you're scared to mix an animal print with a plaid, but look how beautiful that works together. And sometimes those unexpected elements like this will make your design really stand out and be different than the norm. We don't like to be normal. We like to be different. That's what I like to do. Okay, perfect there. Let's go ahead and trim that end. And you can either use floral wire or a pipe cleaner or a zip tie, however you want to put this together. Okay, I'm going to use just a simple chenille stem to attach this bow together. Give it a twist. And let's put it on our wreath. Or our swag. I guess it's actually a swag, isn't it? I want to put this up at the top, as far up at the top as I can. This thing has a loop on it, so I'm going to actually put it right where the loop, where you hang it, is positioned. And just tie that around. And then we're not going to worry too much about how the bow looks right now because, listen, we're going to be messing around with this stuff for a while. For a little bit. We don't need it to be perfect right this minute. Okay, next we're going to add our scarecrow face. Now, one of the things that I've noticed about this face is you can't see his cute eyes, and that kind of bothers me. So what I want to do is take his hat and kind of glue it up a little bit so we can see his eyes. So I'm going to put a bead of glue right there on the hat so it'll lift up his brim of the hat and see his cute eyes. All right, so let's just put a little dab of glue there. Okay, I've put a little dab of glue right there on his hat. Make sure it's going to stick. He is super cute, but I cannot resist putting some of this ribbon around his hat. And that's going to tie it together with our bow that we just put on. So all you do is just take some glue. Add a little strip around the hat. And look, we've transformed him into a matching element for our bow. Put a little dab right there. I love it. Now you can see his eyes and his hat's all bedazzled. What if we put something down here on his... Okay, I think I like that. Let's add a piece right here. Right now he's just got burlap. Let's put this like that. Now you're thinking, how do I get that to stay on there? Well, this is a styrofoam head, so we're going to take a floral pin and just push it up into the head. And that's going to hold it in place. We're at the point where we're going to add this to our wreath. You can hang it with the hanger that it comes with. I prefer to use some tinsel rope just to push inside here. I've taken a couple short pieces in the same color as the swag, and I put a pick on the end, and I'm going to stab the back of his head with the pick. Right there, and then down here. The main thing is you don't want to push through to the front side of that. Just add a little bit of glue to secure it, and then it's ready to tie onto our wreath base. Okay, we're ready to put on the scarecrow face. I think I'm gonna like him kind of at an angle, right up below the bow. So we're gonna start by positioning it how I want it. We're gonna take those tinsel ropes, and I want it kind of sideways. And you can tie this right onto the wreath base or the swag base with your tinsel ties that you put in. So there it is. Look how cute that is with his little hat embellished. So now I want his face to kind of be at an angle. So you can take that other tinsel tie and right over here, tie it off. And that's why I said don't worry about this bow, because it's going to get lots of movement as we progress. Cute! So he had a little burlap string here at the top. I just took it and tied it onto one of the tinsel ties just to anchor the hat a little bit better. Now let's continue on with adding our next elements. All right, what I would recommend next is we have a sign and we have 2 pumpkins. One of the things that's real helpful for me is I like to take my elements that I want to place in and just temporarily put things where I think they might look better. And then you can put them in permanently. Do I want the pumpkin there and here, or do I like it reversed? And I'm thinking I'm liking the pumpkins in this position. So that way you can just kind of stage it before you get ready to start poking things in. This is the pumpkin we're going to put in right there. So to do that, it's a little foam pumpkin. We're going to add in, again, some of the tinsel tie that I used on the scarecrow head. And it's a simple process to put a pick on the end. If you don't have a pick machine, you can just push into the pumpkin with your tinsel and glue it and it'll be fine. Here are the tinsel ties that are just stuck into the pumpkin, and this is how I attach them. Now this particular pumpkin is a hollow styrofoam, but you can still use the same process to attach it as well. And this is just the tinsel rope. You get these tinsel ropes in a roll. And then we're just going to push this in. Now, I think the positioning on this is going to be more to the back. So once you get that decided, then you can come back and put your tinsel rope in. Let's go ahead and attach this pumpkin. So in our initial staging of this, I decided I wanted it to go up here kind of right in this area, because our little sign's going to go up there. Now, I know I'm kind of standing in front of it, but just trust me that it's going to twist to the back. Looks like he's taking a nap on top of the pumpkin, which is cute. Okay, so that's in there really good. Let's go ahead and position this one, and then we can decide So yeah, this is going to be more of a flat installation. So let's take our tinsel ties and I'll put a pick on the back. So those are going to go right here in the back. Ooh, that's like fingers, nails on the chalkboard. Actually, this is not a hollow pumpkin. It is styrofoam. I can tell by the noise that it's making. So there it is. I'm going to put a little dab of glue just to secure it. Look how cute. Y'all. Let's get this in here. And see, you can almost stack these one on top of the other. I'm trying not to get the glue on me. It's not dried yet. And you know, you just got to feel where it's coming through at the back. Oh, I just pulled it out. It's really important to let your glue set before you go crazy like I just did. That's what happens when you try to rush the process. Let your glue set. But I'm going to continue to go on and try to get it in there because I'm hard-headed. This you know about me. Just don't pull so hard, Terry, next time. I'm trying not to. I'm trying to be good. Okay. There we have it. Trim up his little burlap's getting kind of messy. Ooh, this is so cute. All right, let's go ahead and add our sign. And I need to take this off so I can tell you what it is on your list. But anyway, we're going to add our sign. It's going to go, let me lower this because I'm shorty. Shorty. I want to add the sign right in here. And it does have a tie on it, so we can utilize that tie. Or another little trick is these have holes in the top where this burlap is. They work perfect for putting a little end of this tinsel tie in there. Just find the placement. Well, I say they will. Okay, so there it went. So that you can just put that little end of the tinsel wire in the hole that the burlap's through. And that'll hold it in for you. Because these tinsel pieces have wire in them, and that's a way to help that work. Okay, so there's our welcome sign. I'm looking, and I'm going to give you a good shot of it. You know what? I may just cut this burlap off because it's kind of getting in the way. Easy enough, just get rid of it. There we go. Goodbye. You're gone. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. Okay, now we're happy. The only thing is these tails are kind of coming down in front of my sign, which are kind of bothering me. So I think what I'm going to do is you can take your ribbon like this, make a crunch. Take your tinsel tie and wrap them so that we've got kind of a loop. So let me find the other tail to this. So we're going to take these, press them in, take a tinsel piece and wrap around it. And that way we don't have stuff hanging down on top of the sign. That's how that works. Okay, what do we have left? We've got picks and pumpkins and sunflowers. So we've got our grassy picks. I've got some sunflowers, and just because we have these does not mean we have to use them. But I like to fill up my stuff, you know. So let's go ahead and add these brown khaki looking pumpkins. They're kind of velvety. And the way we're going to put these in is just with some glue on the end. I'm going to really gook it up. So a big blob of glue will do you. And then we're going to come in here behind our pumpkin pal and just add some of these cute pumpkins. And then, y'all, apologize for all this creepiness, but as I'm filming this, David tested positive for COVID yesterday. I'm praying to goodness that I don't have it, but I've got this creepy stuff kind of starting. I'm hoping that that's not what's going to happen. It seems like my throat's kind of closing up. Okay, so here's a single pumpkin. Let's just add that. Maybe down here in a cluster with these other cute pumpkins. Now, this is the same color as the swag itself, the swag base, but when you put it on top of the orange pumpkin, it, totally changes and gives it a new look. You can see it. So I'm just using regular hot glue on this base and pushing this in. It'll grab either the deco mesh or the tinsel swag, either one. This is coming along beautifully. Now, we may not even need this second pick, so, you can budget out your elements and use them for something else. It's okay to do that. So if I was looking, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see where else. Maybe down here on the bottom, I think would be good. Okay, so let me get this up close so you can see so far what we got going on. This is so cute. All right, let's add in some of these grassy picks. Let's see what this is called. Country grass and berry wheat spray. And it's got a little bit of the bluish look to it. Now, this comes in like 3 sections to this pick. So what I want to do is I'm going to cut this piece, and then I'm going to probably cut these 2 pieces, and we can use just those individually and not use the whole pick itself. I mean, you know, as a whole. That's what I meant to say. Now I am going to put a pick on the end of this because it all kind of split apart. But if you have floral tape, you can do the same thing. Wrap some floral tape around. Now we're going to go ahead and put this pick kind of coming down out of the top of our, where the bow is. And then you can kind of mix it into the bow so it looks like it's part of it. Just spread those elements out. Here I am trying to fix this bow. Y'all tell me not to do that. Don't do that. Don't do it. Don't do it. So we're going to split another piece right here, or cut it. This is a Select Artificials pick, so it's got some real good bones to it. Now I've got that one right there. Let's come in right about here and put this piece. If you're using a pick, I do recommend that on the back you take that pick and bend it back on itself so that we don't have any problems with it poking somebody. So we're just going to shape that out. Move this up a little higher. We're going to put that last piece, because I think I'm going to hoard this piece and use it for some other project. And then we'll make sure that we get this coming out of the bottom. So we've got a piece at the top, a piece in the middle, and then we'll have this piece coming out of the bottom. Like this. So this was a smaller piece that I inserted at the middle position. And then the bigger piece I saved for the bottom. Yeah. Now all we have left to do is add in this sunflower pick, and then we'll decide what to do from there. Now this has got lots of cuts on it. The main reason I bought this pick was for the sunflowers. So if I don't use all of it, that's totally fine. I can save it for something else if I want, or, you know, we may use all of this. You never know. You never know with me what's going to happen. Okay, so I want this sunflower kind of nestled in with all that beautiful pumpkin gorgeousness. So I'm going to kind of nestle it in right in here. And I'm going to find a pick on the back to bend over. This is turning out so super cute. And I do like that greenery kind of coming out of that pumpkin. Ooh, that gives it some texture, doesn't it? This is turning out really good. I'm excited for the colors. Now that I've decided I like these color combinations, right? Okay, let's come up here and put some of that greenery at the top. It's got like a piece of thistle right there. I think we are going to use this entire pick. I'm loving the texture it brings. So right here behind his head, I think would be good. Just be careful when you're using these picks. You don't want to poke your fingers and get, because they are like really sharp, razor blade-ish. Okay, love, love, love. This one, I've kind of saved this for the bottom. I'm going to move this up at the top a little so you can see. So I've kind of saved it for down here. And because I've got this sunflower there, I think this one needs to be a little bit more over to the left. So just look at your angles that way. And placement should be sort of diagonal. So we've got a diagonal thing going on here. And let's take this and really work with the pieces to make it flow the way you want it to. I do love Select Artificials picks because they have such a good variety and the quality is off the chain. I mean, it's really nice quality. Okay, so we're at the point where we pretty much finished the swag. I keep calling it wreath, it's swag. But we're going to use up the rest of that deco mesh that we cut earlier. So here's the point in time that you take a really good look at it. You want your swag to have a shape that's bigger at the top and then it diagonals down to the bottom. So I do see a couple of places that I've got to fill in. These are 4 pieces that we didn't use of the 6 total that we cut. So this is a great point to use those and fill in any little blank areas. So right up here is a spot. I wish you could see up close how wonderful this mesh matches this ribbon. It is perfect. It was like they were made for each other. Maybe they were. I don't know. I'd have to ask. So that was very needed right there at that spot. May even need one behind the bow. And we can always cut more if we need it, right? Because we didn't use the whole roll. Okay, so roll in, gather. Now I'm going to find the spot right here behind this bow. I may have to lay it down to get it to go on there. I'll let you watch me. Watch me, watch me. Okay, so I'm going to put it right here behind the bow. And actually, that's going to give the bow a kind of a base to sit on too. Now, I'm not finding anything to attach that to, so I'm just going to grab another piece of this tinsel rope that I've got right here handy where I need it, and I'm going to attach it this way in the middle and then twist it around where I want it to go. So I'm trying to put it right back here, and there wasn't a piece of tinsel rope for me to grab because I'm right on the hanger is where it's going right on the hanger. Here's the hanger. We can cut these little pieces of the ribbon off. I mean, this is the holder for the ribbon for the bow. Okay, I like that there. Let's get it back on the stand so I can see it. I do see a couple more places that need filling in, and I do have these already cut, so I'm going to go ahead and use these, but I may want to cut another piece of orange. To go in a spot that I see. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and cut another piece of orange. There's a spot that's bothering me that needs something. So right here, there's a big gap between where the orange picks back up. So that's what my eyes kept going to. And we're going to fix it by putting in a piece of this orange and teal right there. Yep, that's what it needed. Trust your instincts. When your eye says, oh, that doesn't look right, then you know you got to get something done about it. You got to trust what your brain's telling you. Now, if I can find a little piece of tinsel to tie this off. Nope, don't fall. Do y'all ever talk to your designs? Like they're going to really hear you, right? You're sitting there going, no, don't do that. No, stop. I think we all do it. We're all guilty of that one little thing, huh? Woo, this is so cute. So I've got one little piece of this animal print that I can use up since it's cut. And I'm going to add it like right in here. Still maintaining my shape by pushing it in pretty far. So I don't want the thing to bulge out in the middle, you know. Now, here's one last little thing I think would add something to it. We're going to take our 1.5 inch ribbon that we used. And I'm going to put a pick on the end of it. And I'm going to come in here behind this pumpkin and poke the pin or the pick into the pumpkin just as a place to put it in. Okay. And then I'm going to come out and make a loop. And now come in here behind and grab something to hold on to it. Actually, these little pieces in this pick will be perfect. These little willow vines. I'm going to wrap it around that ribbon and then push it back inside so it'll hold the loop right there. And then we're going to cut this. So I don't know if you can see. Let me move it up a little taller. So what I've done is taken this right here, and I'm going to actually add one more piece. I've got one loop, but I'm going to have two tails. So let's add this other tail. It's going to come in, just pushing this in that pumpkin for real. For real? So even though we don't really have a bow here to say we have a bow, we've got tails. So let's just go ahead and trim these. So that'll give us some of that ribbon right here in the bottom pieces. Oh, these willow vines are everything. Y'all know how much I love them. Okay, let's take a look at her. All completed. Make sure I can get it in the camera. Here is our finished swag. Beautiful. Lots of fun elements. And we've tied in our ribbon here with the hat. Those are kind of little touches that make a difference. Okay, thanks again for being with me this month, and I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial as much as I have bringing it to you. Bye, everybody.